Good morning, YouTubers. I'm doing an alternator on a 2014 Dodge Caravan 3.6. You're gonna need a jack to lift the vehicle up. You're gonna need a a quarter-inch drive ratchet with a 5mm socket. You're gonna need a 13mm. I use a ratchet wrench. You're gonna need, let's see here. I used a 3/8 drive to release the belt on the tensioner to move the tensioner back. You're gonna need a 10mm socket, an extension, and let's see here. On this job, you want to lift the vehicle up, get it off the ground. You want to disconnect the battery. There are going to be two bolts here, two 10mm nuts, one here, or screws rather, one here, one here. Take the little splash seal down with this right here to have access to the tensioner and the belt. I also, on this job, had to drop the AC compressor here to have access to get the alternator out here. I was able to get the alternator out from here. You're gonna have three 13mm screws holding the alternator down. Once you release the tensioner and get the belt off, there's one 13mm screw there. On the AC compressor, there were, let's see here, I think there were four studs holding the AC compressor in. I used a 5mm socket. Well, I used a 13mm to get the nuts off on all four studs. Then I used a 5mm quarter-inch socket to back out all four of the studs. I seen that on some of the videos it said drain the radiator. I didn't have to do any of that. I did take off the hose, so I think that was an unnecessary step because you're gonna have to bleed the system and put coolant back in. That's just gonna make the job a little longer. But you can get access to the alternator if you take the two screws out from the top. If you ever maneuver around the radiator to get the two screws out, what I did here is I took the hose off because I was trying to figure out the best way to get get past the radiator. So I did take the hose off. There was a little shield here to where I had to take off, let's see here, this little hood shield where the latch goes down to over the radiator. There were like 1, 2, 3. There probably were like 6 to 8 10mm screws to get that off. And I kind of set it to the side. There was also a little bracket here that goes to the shield. I loosened those up. There were 10mm screws. There was a 10mm screw at the bottom of the bracket on each side. And I was able to kind of just slightly pull the radiator back a little bit to get access to those screws to the alternator. It's a little bit extra work, but I was able to do that. I think I did this job before and I didn't do any of that stuff. It's been a while. But if you get the 4 studs out of the AC compressor, you can drop the AC compressor down to where you have access to get the alternator out. That was the best way for me. And then you want to just reverse everything. But I honestly think you can do this job without messing with the coolant and the radiator. I've done the job before and I did not have to touch any of that stuff. It's just been a while and I kind of forgot. I didn't make a video for that. But you can have access to the alternator by dropping the AC compressor, and you should be able to get the alternator out and get it back in without touching the antifreeze, the radiator, or any of that stuff, or even that little radiator shield for the hood tie down. You don't have to touch any of that stuff. I did this job before. I just didn't make a video, and I was able to get the alternator out. Now you just got to reverse everything and put it back in. Thank you. Hopefully this video helps someone. You all have a good day. Thank you.